Dernsi milks yizon urtagzuvenum go elern lu oats. Derngas ze milks yiz on our tongues go il earn la ots darn says milks yazon tongues them go learn blue oats. So any further impressions upon the chant, or
Just opening a door while one closes again and again.
one thing that people don't
mind, but there's some little, I've got to fix it. So
or
yeah,
put
I made a boo-boo on the,
or have the sides hang down.
yeah.
Um, and you showed that it's on the one from last year. I didn't do that with mine. I just,
Oh, yours is nice. It's thick, but yeah, I've got last year's and this year's, and it's kind of cool the way it played out because it's the same seasonal. So yeah, that was pretty cool the way that worked out. I
and
liked it. There's a little bit of energy left over there. Ooh.
so as stated before, we have the word for beast. We have the word for snake and dove diagonally on each side from that. We have the word for serpent. And then we have some other words. Mulks is serpent. Oh, Dirkse is path. And at some point, I will do a little update of the Lozuvuma language, because I've done that before.
Okay.
Into the groves comes the floods. We meander through the maze of leaves in our retreat from the harvest of berries, are approaching the building of transformation. Some attack with hate and would be pillaging with this weapon. The real world is a means, and that is what we are upon. Emerge as strange things happen universally. Pervading upon you is the revolving of ages beyond your connections of astrology. Turtle, tortoise, hare, and rabbit become tawny in their peaks innumerably. The multiverse is the sheath of qualities, but beyond the causal remains the essence, a causally. From the 11 wild ones is destruction, and from that comes new creativity. 5, 7, 10, 1,000, or 5,000 headed. Each is crowned in eternity. With the humans is similarity. Hail beyond celebration our observance. Uncoil and coil our consciousness. Hail to beautification of action. We're receiving beyond summoning by verses. We keep some of the instruction in confidence and protect the sacred places with more than curses. Bestow the secret conversations without being at all remiss. We go slithering into the worldly, but Of our power, we are spiritually directing, manifesting and unmanifest. We are of the beings that remain. And any further thought here on?
At first, I picked up just seeing a path through the forest. I wanted to later meditate upon that. You know, sometimes a lot of the simple things can turn into complex things. So, yeah, that'll be a neat little thing to do here later. And I like the hail to the beautification of action. I like that. And yeah.
And one of the things like this, like the people in the and pentagram rites is, you know, you got the formula and you evoke yourself through the formula. That's the thing. All the symbols and all this stuff, it's working through you. You're doing something with yourself. So you create a center in yourself. You are regarding your own beginning and ending, you know, the various marks of direction and tasks and all that stuff. And, you know, you become a sort of community leader, power, glory, forever, you know, establishment. The other tool here, which changes color, which is a good thing for the start of the water quadrant, which is why for the water quadrant, I have that. Whatever symbolism a person puts upon citrine or orange quartz or whatever you want to call it, agate. But this has a little spots in it, so it really is a bloodstone. Although typically bloodstones are only jasper. This is a more traditional jasper bloodstone. Because it's technically not a bloodstone if it doesn't have the things with it.
I have a tiny, well, it's saying it's a yellow adventuring, but it's teeny tiny.
And real silver. But see, you got two tetrahedrons interlaced here. And because because the court of Ahaz relates to or Ahaz, however you're supposed to officially pronounce it, because what was I saying? Because they kind of relate to order of 9 angles. That's why I use the white bloodstone tetrahedron, because any ritual that I do that relates to that, I use that one. So any order of 9 angles in any group, I don't always have the stone with me, but as especially when it's something like a seasonal, I do get out the stone. And so that's with that. And so we might as well get in here with the verses that relate to the snake from the Quran. 7:107. At this, Moses threw down his staff, and lo, it became a live serpent. Okay, manifest is the word here. So that's another way to translate that verse. 2020. Just like the Samaveda, sometimes you run in with actually sometimes the same exact verse in terms of its words in a different place with a different number, and it actually comes off different. So people's like, oh, that you said the same sentence twice. It's like it's a big book, and you know, and the other issues with it too. It's not really the issue people make out of it. So 2020 So he threw it down, and lo, it became a running serpent.
And this is
Hayatu tasa. So it lived as a serpent. So, oh yeah, go ahead. Say your whatever comment you were going to say.
this is Moses, right? The book of Moses.
Yeah, this is the Moses story.
Okay, I got you.
And 2445 takes it broader than just snakes. The singular and definitive divinity created every moving thing from water. One crawls on its belly, one walks on two legs, another moves on four. And the astonishing creates whatever it wills. Indeed has power over all things. And so, obviously there's more than snakes that kind of wither around on its belly without anything but, And 2632.
Moses is one of the
Yeah,
stories.
Moses is in parentheses here again.
Yeah, that's one of the stories they'll learn about first, like in Christian churches. I remember from a long time ago.
But the thing is here, so Moses cast his staff, and lo, it turned into serpents. There's a lot of lessons in this stuff, that is usually left off to people, or they're just believe that that it happened, or spiritually claim it. And it's like, you can spiritually reference stuff, and that is something, but and then there's the reaction against it. So 2710, throw down your staff. When he saw it wriggling like a serpent, he turned his back and fled without turning. O Moses, be not fearful. Surely those sent as messengers do not fear in my presence. So Moses didn't know what's going on. And that's one of the important things about having the mystical experience, is you don't always know what's going on when it first happens, right?
Right.
And things are said a little bit differently. Again, throw down your staff. 2831, throw down your staff. When he saw it wriggling like a serpent, he turned about and fled without turning. Oh, Moses, approach and have no fear, you will be safe. Well, of course, the power that lets the thing happen, or causes the thing to happen, would definitely be the one to listen to when it comes to how to react to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And this sort of, because something 3744, he would have stayed in its belly till the day the dead are raised. So some big creature in the sea. And there are sea serpents, but it's typically thought of as a whale, but it's still some of the same sort of language. Bethune, so something in its belly. But some of that language is used related to the snake. And so not some, I thought there was a lot more that the Bible had to say about snakes, but not quite.
And it seemed like it, because of
but a lot of that stuff, like they tell you, oh, the Bible's just full of this love theme, and yet most of the references to love by and for God in the Bible are in Deuteronomy, not the New Testament, Deuteronomy.
Right.
And most of the rest of the ones are in the other part of the Bible. They just focus so much on 3:16, and 3:16 is like, is sort of the flowery sort of, it's sort of nonsensical, because it's like just like 1 Corinthians 13. Love is good manners is patient and kind. That's actually what it's supposed to say. But the translation trying to render it as love is this, love is, it's like, no, no. Oh, as soon as you have love in your heart, you're going to be patient. With everything. No, that's no. And of course, I'm reading in my ritual. I'm going to use the Arabic. I'm going to use the Greek. I'm going to use the Aramea, as it's called. Biblical Hebrew is what most people are going to call it. But Revelations 12:7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels warred against the dragon, and the dragon warred and his angels. And so my last seasonal talisman in the middle, you had the word Mikael, and as the magical formula, that's the same thing. So Michael and the dragon and the demons are on the same level because Michael's supposed to be the one over hell and all that stuff. So that's how that relates. But one of the things that gets confused is that angel is sort of ambiguous. You don't know the one type from the other. In the I've pointed out before in the Sanskrit, which we'll go over a little bit of the Sanskrit here. It's simple, I guess, after these 3 here.
It seems like I had read in the Bible somewhere the description of an angel, and it's definitely not the pretty, like the angel figurines you see.
Oh, well, that too. People try to make it's not fluffy, or if it's not the right color. It's like, no, that's not it either. If it does come with all those wings and stuff, it's actually probably more likely to be a demon.
Right.
If it's taking on that form, but that's the secret. Most people don't realize it. That's but see, these beings, they have a purpose. They have some function they fulfill, just like the Seshu in the myth. 16:20 in Romans. So, but the God of peace will bruise Satan under your feet shortly. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you. And so the idea is like that lion serpent. It's like God is the lion and hurts the serpent, but then again, the serpent and the lion is like both terms for Satan. So there's some uncarefulness that came through in the mythology that has perhaps unintended associations if you look into its origins. And John 3:14, and even as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, thus to be lifted up, it behooves the Son of Man. And one of the things that got people into Christianity more than anything else, not so much now that you basically have to believe and all that other stuff, is this idea that we're is that somehow it's all a secret code. The Jews didn't get it because God put it in code and they just forgot about the code. It's like, really? You're if you think symbolically and twist things around, you can do that thing with everything. And some people say that's what the left-hand path is that your work is, well, you're working it out and bringing it out, whatever, but you don't have to be like, it doesn't have to be some sort of mischievous sort of twist upon things. But Matthew 3:7, but having seen many of the Pharisees and Sadducees coming to his baptism, he said to them, offspring of vipers, be forewarned you to flee the coming wrath. And one of the things that happens, like in Judaism, people come and witness the various initiation things that they do. And of course, that's sort of a serpent thing too, the circumcision. But but there's people who witness, and it's all they are there for like some basic events like that. They aren't there to really practice the religion. Oh, there's a baby, there's a wedding, there's someone died, but
yeah, I completely understand that.
And well, speaking of serpents, the chant with the various serpents, because oh, maybe I should say something before repeating into that. So sesha is is that which remains. And it's thought to be a being beyond order. It accomplishes task. It can have sort of a punishing sort of role, because as I put it in, I put in the chant, the Rudras. So it takes the Rudras and destroys them and creates a whole new universe. So it punishes, but it's not punishment just to punish it. Punishment that accomplishes something.
Mm-hmm.
And Rugana se shana pahamse tushta rushta tukamman sakala nambishtanu pamasritanamna bepannaranam Vamasreta yasreyatam preyante. And that means something to the effect of Anantha, Masuki, Sesha, Padmana Bara, Kambala, Shankapala, Dre, Dharashtra, Takshaka, and Kaliya are the names of the 9 great serpents. Whoever recites this hymn in prayer daily in the evening, particularly in the mornings, their fears are all destroyed and they emerge victorious in all endeavors. And you notice in the symbol, it's sort of connected to the Yazidi snake thing in a way. It's what sigil came, but so it has that element of 3 to the left, 4 to the left and 3 to the right. It has that double spiral thing, making you think of the chakras. It has the 4 merging points are the top thing. Remember, in the chant, I'm still including Church of Hermetic Science, Feraferia, Ordo Templi Astarte sort of material in this, and they talk about the building a transformation, the pyramid or whatever. So that's one of the things that comes through here, but it's kind of like the Sri Yantra symbol. And so those elements are close in that. So any thought you have related to the
let's see, I was just trying to write down the 9 great serpents names, and I got the last 4, but maybe I could get those off of you later.
Well, I sent you in the graphic, and
okay,
that is the Anantam Vasukim Sesham mantra, and because that's less accessible than the Bible or the Quran or whatever, so I've figured each one of these programs I'm putting that in that, and so we also the Deva Stuti, verse 6, which translates something like, did I mention that the word for evil or fear or whatever, it's related to things against you, basically. So it's not necessarily moralistic. It's not necessarily limited to fear. It's ill or difficulty or whatever. So this Stuti verse is, when you are pleased, you destroy all infirmities. Well, the last one was 2 verses. This is 2 verses too, but this is actually listed as, so you have that 1, 1, 1, 1. Some people say there are particular amounts of repetitions of this that people would want to say. And well, let me just say it. When you are pleased, you destroy all infirmities. And when you are displeased, you frustrate all desires. no calamity or disease befalls those who take refuge in you. Invariably, you become a refuge to others. Now, one of the things that obviously happens when we adapt the principles, that can benefit those who are not outside that. And that's sort of what I mean by Luciferian. I don't mean we're becoming our own, the new Jesus for ourselves or something weird like something like that. It's that you bring out your own light. It's like, you know, that Yizom, the dove, is so the spirit comes in. And my last seasonal, this one, it was the spirit, well, the spirit sort of came in like a snake, but came in like some sort of void, but the void has teeth and all sorts of stuff. But and remember how I said that there's instruction. Some of the instruction, you know, is secret, which is sometimes why I turn off the camera. And I'm not just doing things for show anyway. So sometimes the whole ritual is lost, and that's unintentional. But you know, the
I understand.
sometimes I go further than what's being said. But at the very least, protect the sacred space of it. And so, but anyways, this mantra, you know, so I mixed in, because as I said, that not the page, not it's not on the Tumblr that I gave you the link to. I might as well mention what the Tumblr is, whether it's going to remind agoniespointpress.tumblr.com. It's not the whole thing, but it does mention Metachem Sun, Sheshu, and all that. Anandam Basukim Sesham Padmanapam Chakaliyam Tata Etanenava Chamahatmanam Sayamakale Patanitram Pratakale Visashatasya Vishabayam Naste Sarvatra Vejaye Pavat Etesrenavanangastrotram Sampurnam. And so that's with that. And there's so 9 nagas have been mentioned here, and there's of course other nagas that we can refer to. And the chant that we just read is also known as the Navnag Stotra.
I liked that one. It's like very methodical.
And a lot of these things, even though like the Greek in particular, like of the Bible, you get different, so many variations and stuff like this. So you like sometimes I write something down and it's like it's not even the thing that I was looking for, because it was okay, how many times people say, okay, the Navanaga Stotram, so people avoid negative things against them through it. And so the 4 types, oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know this. So I have 4 lines going towards the center, and dosha, sarpadosha, nagadosha, kala sarpadosha, rahu dosha, ketu dosha. So 4 types of negatives that it relates to. It's related to pregnancy and fetuses and all that. And some people say it 11 times, some say it 21 times, some say it 108, and some say it 1,008 times.
Wow.
And they typically face east with it. And directions matter. It's like, okay, like I was reading in the so as you may know, I've been recording the Atharvaveda. And so they were saying these names. So you got in the east, Indra, and then you have Yama in the south, and Sevatar, and which one is the fourth? But you have that sort of thing going. And also neem leaves. You know, neem is that toothbrush.
Yeah, I've heard of those before.
And yeah, I like those toothbrushes.